Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Phone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to talk about a record-setting day for equities markets as the U.S. paused the tariffs. We're going to talk about the latest 9-figure crypto airdrop that went live this morning, and we're going to talk about some runners on the meme coin side, including everybody's favorite, Fartcoin, which had a big day yesterday. GM, I'm joined today by Choose Rich, Nick, and Easy. Nick, how you feeling today? How you feeling this morning?
I'm all right, but were you going to start the show if we weren't here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you would have just done this by yourself?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's the level of
called a pack mentality, Nick.
Why do you ask?
Have you done a solo Ray show?
I have not.
We should. I think, Nick, you want to leave?
All right, everybody. This is the solo ratio today. We've kicked them off the stage.
I'm good on that.
Okay. I tried.
Ray, could you yap for an hour by yourself?
Could I yap? There'd be a lot of rambling, but I could yap for an hour by myself, I think.
Because I yap by myself for like 20 to 30 minutes every morning, and it is a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think you do something smart. I think that you like do your tweets as you're doing it, and I think that helps like tremendously in terms of what's going on.
It also is just like pre-market, so I get to look at all the bullshit that happens overnight, and then you do a roundup that I get to cover. Today was great because Prompt launched, and dude, my big bags, Bitcoin, bigger than Bitcoin. This thing's up to 5.2 mil.
That's good. That's almost a 2x since when we talked about it yesterday.
Since we talked about it, and I'm still printing right now at current prices. $4,000 a day.
Ooh. So that's what
abstract. It's a Ponzi called Bitcoin. We talked about it yesterday. You might have hopped off when we started talking about it.
I think you heard Ponzi meme coin and you were like, okay, that's my key to go.
There were just a lot of people. I don't know. I was good. I got tired of it. What the hell?
Yup. So Nick, the thesis is that it's bigger than Bitcoin.
Well, it's got a long way to go.
Yes.
What's the actual unit price at this point?
$5.27.
Got it.
Yes, I think this is like right here. I mean, it was just like basically this local bottom was yesterday during the show.
Yep.
You saying that you're making 4,000 a day is definitely a top-ish.
Yep.
Activity.
And Nick, you want to know the best part? I'm writing it completely free. Because I've taken enough out of the Ponzi already and even converted it to stable coins. I bought $8,000 of the token at $1.40 and put 2.3 ETH in to buy the miners to mine the coin on this Ponzi, right? Yesterday, it touched $3 and I basically sold everything to cover costs. So I'm writing zero cost basis right now.
You just have miners?
Yeah, so I can share my screen to just show what it looks like. This is my mining encampment right now. So I've been diluted pretty heavily because yesterday I was making 1,100 Bitcoins a day. Now I'm down to 580. You can see I own 0.28% of the hash rate. These are my miners. I got a GPU rack here, 2 of them, a couple Raspberry Pros. If I wanted to buy more miners, I don't have enough gigawatt space, so I have to upgrade my area. So I'm completely in the profit. I'm still holding 1,500 of the tokens. And I claimed this morning and sold what I made overnight, which is about 330 tokens.
What does this have to do with abstract, though?
So it's on abstract.
Abstract is EV. Oh, yeah, I guess it's...
yeah, it's EVM, and L2. So, yeah, I mean, the chart looks like it just wants to keep going up.
How does this compare to Fartcoin right now?
I don't know, but this is bigger than Bitcoin.
Stronger than Fartcoin over the last day, but Fartcoin had a crazy candle.
Yeah, you bought the top candle.
Ray bought the top.
I bought the dip after the top candle, so I'm basically about 740
yeah,
here.
So I'm only down 30% instead of 60.
Yep. Hey, that's the breakout over our recent resistance here. So
Ray's
that was my plan.
Again at the local top.
Are you selling? Are you selling Fartcoin here?
I sold all my position yesterday. Right. No, I'm still holding it.
Right. So you still think it's a buy here?
Yeah, although I like dips for buying. Ray likes wicks, top wicks for buying.
Fartcoin has historically ran up when it does run up like this. It does more run ups like this in consecutive days.
But Ray, it's a completely different. Like, I think in a scenario that would make sense. But we're also like, all of it is dependent on what happens in the macro right now.
Yeah, I think
So-
macro, we have a little bit of clarity right now.
I mean, I want this to work out for you. I do.
You
I
think we have
lost
clarity at this moment? You feel like we have like stable, just sort of very steady, thought out policy right now?
I feel like we have somewhat stable, like a somewhat stable runway after a 90-day tariff pulse.
Yeah, these guys are ridiculous. You see all the insider trading stuff?
Yeah, he's like, buy now. I mean, he told everybody.
No,
he told
no, but literally the S&P call option volume.
Same day expiry out of the money call options that return 23,000% or something like that.
That's an insane situation.
When did they get placed? Was that like after Trump tweeted buy now? Was it?
I think it
in the
was
morning?
maybe right after.
I think it was 10 minutes before is what the Insider Whales is the Twitter account. I forget what the Twitter account is.
Well, you can also check out our app has actually been relatively timely with some of these things. There's a couple of things which I don't like about it, but it's in the process of. This is about to be cleaned up, dude. Our system's about to be like this app is about to be real nice. Let me just throw that out there.
It's
Nice.
looking juicy. It's looking real juicy. I will say. I would love Nick ideally to maybe get the notifications down by like 40%, maybe.
Well, yesterday, for the past 2 days, it was like overwhelming because overnight the system broke. And so I had to go like restart the system, and then it like flooded you with notifications. And then also there's going to be more curation added to the actual feed because there's a lot of stories which I think are less interesting that are not like crypto specific. And so the feed is going to change. First is the app functionality. For those wondering, this is the app, but you see right here how I got the likes and the bookmarks being added. I'm about to roll that out today. There's just like cleanup stuff that needs to happen. So, but this is going to be super sick when it's done. Very exciting times.
I'm excited, and it's cool to see how it is working on the inside. I'm gonna try to figure out as many inside things we're gonna do and launch in the future, and then we can release them on the podcast ahead of time, where I can share our plans like I did yesterday, and watch Nick get a little bit angry at me.
Just revealing all of our insider stuff. I mean, I just shared the app, so it's all good. What do you think here, Easy? So AVAX was one of the strongest tokens yesterday. I added AVAX yesterday. I had sold back when it had started capitulating. The market had been dumping somewhere in the 20s. And I added back in yesterday just because of the strength that I saw. I thought was like really interesting.
Are you making fun of me?
What do you mean? No. I
It's
actually
literally
did
the same exact thing I did with Fartcoin.
Yeah, but you're doing it with
Same chart.
Fartcoin, dude. We've been calling Fartcoin for a hot minute, okay? Fartcoin is obviously the Bitcoin of meme coins.
We'll see. We will see.
Hey, thanks for your thoughts on that, Easy.
I still
Appreciate
think
that.
Buttcoin outperformed.
Well, you two started yapping back and forth, so I wasn't really sure what the question was.
I
Do I
asked
think
you
the
your
AVAX trade is a good trade? Sure. My bigger concern, though, is look at the Bitcoin chart. We're at a level of resistance right now. We didn't break over it yesterday. So that's why I think I have some reservations on this downtrend. Let me share this. We didn't break over it.
Interesting.
We tapped literally right off of it.
Sell on my
It's the
crypto. Well,
daily?
by the way, I actually do think we continue going down. I said it yesterday. We did see that like insane God candle of the most
But
epic
even the
form.
S&P. Like the S&P still, like we filled one gap. We have one still slightly higher. We're opening lower, and we only tested this buy area I'm like a fan of once, which is like historically been an area of support, which is like, yeah, my main concern is like I still think we can go lower. Like I think even all the way down to 430 would be crazy to get, but that 460, 430,
I'm on the
this whole
same
range
page.
is where I want to be a buyer.
Same page.
Yeah, that's where I want to be a buyer. And the one thing I want to buy if I'm buying stocks is I want to buy as much of this as I possibly can. This is
Robinhood.
the most beautiful cup and handle pattern I've ever seen in my entire life.
What is the PE on Robinhood?
I think Robinhood is going to be the easiest money-making opportunity.
27. That's pretty good.
It's
in
very
this
good.
market.
And Nick, that's not accounting for the new profit verticals they're going to have with banking, the IRA stuff, the gambling from prediction markets. It's just a do everything financial app. They did a cash delivery service they have now, which like I think is kind of weird, but they
Yeah.
literally are doing everything and more in finance markets and want to just be the do everything. Like I think this is going to be the easiest trade of a lifetime. It's just buy as much Robinhood as you possibly can.
Blake called it a jugging handle.
Yeah, that's about right.
Look at this chart. This is a ridiculous chart.
Yeah, ICO candle, nuke through 22 to 24, bear market, back up during that run. Now retest on this sell-off. It's made higher lows though. Like if this thing dipped to 25, listen, Nick, I'm probably going to ask for an advance on a yearly salary to buy as much as I can. All right, I'll take a 60% discount on it.
He'll take a 60. If you take a 60% advance on the salary, we can do that right now.
Only if Robinson dips to 25, then we can talk.
Well, why don't we just follow? Remember the Bitcoin guy that Pio's having on? Just do 0% interest credit cards, take out payday loans, take out of all your retirement accounts, borrow against that.
I mean, Ray, you want to do a 60% advance?
Everyone's doing
60% discount on an advance for a year. We can talk.
For your salary.
You guys cover the taxes.
Clemente, you interested?
Oh,
You're
you're
muted.
muted.
I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, so Clemente, do you want what
So
are you
to
down
be
for?
clear, you're gonna get paid.
Real quick. You know what you just agreed to?
60, yeah, an advance on my salary.
Yeah,
Buy
you
the
get-
dude.
You get,
You get
40%
paid
of the
40%
salary.
less.
40% less?
No, 60% less. You receive
Oh.
40% of it.
How much do I
viewed
get?
it as 60%. I was willing to give 60% of the
Oh
salary.
shit! Now we're talking. Okay, that's 50% more than I was willing to take.
But that last 20% has an interest rate.
That's
So-
fine. Yeah, we can take the gap. The gap gets. Are we talking like a car loan low credit interest rate? Or are we talking like a?
I'm willing to do 6%.
My take quits tomorrow.
Great, right? Send the
So I
paperwork.
wait, hold on. So I get the entire paycheck for the year at a 40% discount?
Yeah, you get 60% of the year's paycheck up front. If you get if you're out of the company, you're gonna have to pay me back for that.
Yeah, if you
period
quit, there's a clawback.
and there's an interest rate on the loan that's going to be coming out that I'm just going to be deducting from your bank account for the next.
Yeah, but in theory, you could buy MicroStrategy and sell covered calls on it in a flywheel option while taking out 0% payday loans and doing the Michael
Clemente's
Saylor
muted again.
personal strat.
That's the time value of money right there. So what I would do every meal, DoorDash, Chipotle, buy now, pay later. My rent, credit card, Robinhood. I'm gonna put all the money into Robinhood, use it as collateral, use that money as collateral, and just buy MicroStrategy. And then
Iman Gotzi taught me this. He said the proper way for drop shipping extraordinaires is 0% APR. Take out loans from your friends and family, block their phone numbers, and move so they can never find you. Generational wealth.
And also to really double down to what was that advice I've seen from a couple gurus is like, get the most expensive apartment in your city. Double down. Get the penthouse because they're going to force you to perform at a higher level. Burn all the bridges. And don't
ruin your friendships because you're going to have to make new ones. Get uncomfortable if you want to really succeed in life.
So insane.
I mean, there's Rich Dad Poor Dad had that in his book, dude. He had that.
He did. Not to that extreme.
No. He's like, buy a car or something like that, basically.
Yeah, it was like, it's like buy the new car because it's gonna make it's not like ruin every relationship you have in your life and take loans against them.
Is that the Kawasaki dude?
Yes, Robert Kiyosaki.
Got it.
It's not Kawasaki.
That Suzuki motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Okay, just
all right. So I linked the weather report in the comments. I don't know if Nick wants to pop on and handle it today. I can get you in there if you want to get set up on that before we really take it away. I know it might take you a minute to get in there.
No, it takes 2 seconds. Hold on 1 second.
1, 2. All right, Nick, with the weather report right now.
9:12 to 9:30. News stories of the day. Hey, it's Thursday, April 10th. Play the music, Clemente.
Bottom right button.
It is April 10th, Thursday. Boys, the week flying by. Looking over at the crypto roundup, majors are on the day. Bitcoin just between 81 and 82K. Ethereum just under 1,600 and Solana 113. Bounced off of that 3-digi bottom. We got down to 100. We actually got below 100 at one point. Markets rallied overnight or yesterday as Trump delayed tariffs for 90 days while raising tariffs on China to 125%. I mean, that was just an insane God candle. Incredible. But the tariffs aren't gone. The tariffs are actually 10%. It's not actually 0. What the hell is going on? I'm getting mixed messages of what's taking place here. They're saying it's 10%. Then they're saying it's just China. Anyways, that's what's going on there. Next up, some bullish news coming out of the SEC is U.S. Senate confirmed what? U.S. Senate confirmed crypto-friendly Paul Atkins as SEC chairman. Atkins stated that establishing a regulatory framework for digital assets will be a, quote, top priority. The SEC also approved options trading on Ethereum spot ETFs. Incredible stuff coming out of the Senate right now and incredible things coming out of the SEC. Could it get more bullish for crypto? The answer is yes. Trump could stop being volatile. Finally, the claims for Wayfinder's prompt token went live this morning. There are 3 unique claim sites for prime cashers, Wayfinder mission completers, and Kaido Yappers. Prompt is currently trading at 220 million FDV. Curious how people on this team ended up doing on this token. Holy cow. Hey, 3 sites for claiming a token feels like a great fishing opportunity. Hey, I got a 4th site right now you can claim at.
Yeah, it's definitely a little convoluted. Excellent weather report as always, Nick. We're down below 200 mil FDV on this.
You don't need to lie, Ray.
I'm not lying. I think that was great. I think you did a great job.
This did not do well.
I got these commenters hating on me.
You don't listen to the commenters anyway.
I thought this was like going to be like multiple billions based on how much people were glazing it on the timeline.
It will be.
You hold on. Don't go off mute after you make a claim like that. Are you being serious?
I think this ends up trading over $1 billion. Yes.
Are you serious?
FDV, yeah.
So that's a 6x off current prices.
I do. Genuinely do.
What's your timeline on that?
I don't know. 3 months? 90 days?
And why is that?
I think that there's more syncs than people realize for the actual app for the token. Like, I think there's significantly more syncs than, like, Clemente asking what it was. He ignored the entire top part of the tokenomics when he asked why people would use this token, because it literally tells you in the top section, there's like 15 different use cases for it in the app. The other thing is, as they continue to scale this, they're trying to market prompt as an opportunity for people outside of crypto and non-crypto natives to be comfortable on chain and take actions in a way that's like not as normie friendly and try to become more normie friendly. I also think the team's done well with Parallel, the trading card game. They just hosted the first championship in Vegas. They have 2 more games coming out. the ecosystem's thriving and doing very well. Yeah, I am surprised it opened up as low as it did here with the FTV at 186. We had some liquidity adds and removals that sent it up to like 50 cents. OKX priced this at pre-market at 50 cents. So I'm surprised to see it where it is. Its implied value based on the trading was there. I think this can trade over $1 billion, personally.
Did you get airdropped anything?
I was not a yapper, no. I'm not an emerging yapper. So
I got
24th doesn't get me jack shit.
Wait, what? You didn't get
be an emerging yapper, not
the
like
fuck?
I checked. We didn't get shit.
Dude, I just got 0.
I told you
Yeah,
guys.
0. Hard 0.
You were like, the rest of it's for yappers too.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I had the same
Easy.
screen.
Dude, you were feeding me bullshit.
Yeah, I got 6K. I'm an emerging
You're
yapper.
feeding me bullshit.
You
Go
did
look
not-
at your post yapping about bullshit.
You got
Day in and day
6K?
out.
I got 6K tokens. So $1,200.
What?
Emerging yapper. Stop having so many smart followers.
What the fuck is an emerging yapper?
It's when you have less than 1,000 smart followers.
You can, who's in charge of this shit?
I told
Hey,
you
Temple
guys-
Crash?
I
Temple Crash,
told you
can
guys
emerge-
this. I literally said it in a Slack with you two. I was like, why are you guys like excited about this? It's going to emerging yappers.
I thought half the percent was to the emerging yappers, half the percent was to the regular yappers.
No.
Hey,
You not listen
Wayfinder.
to Ray Clemente?
Wayfinder, you can emerge these nuts in your mouth. But you keep doing this shit. Emerging yappers. God,
Forest.
Clemente and Easy in Slack saying they should get pretty decent size allocations. I said, I'm an emerging yapper. You guys don't get that 50%. Your inner circle. Easy says we get the other half.
Yeah, listen, there was some confusion on our front. All right. Still bullish the coin. Still bullish the coin. Regardless, Bitcoin's up even more. Back to
I'm not selling here at this price. I think I agree with Easy. I think it's wild. I think I'd be buying here if I didn't get an allocation.
Personally, I'm waiting for a 72% candle to buy on. Once I see the confirmation.
That's too low. If it's not a 364% candle, I'm not interested.
That's gonna be my new bit. It's like I'm waiting for 70% candle, clean
I
breakout.
saw MicroStrategy move up 22% yesterday. I'll finally agree. PO might be right.
All right, we'll revisit what happened there. Also, I got yelled at a ton for Buttcoin. I got yelled at for shilling it instead of Fartcoin. That thing has absolutely been outperforming, up almost 2x from earlier in the week. Still have a bag of this. I feel like Buttcoin can be a new narrative like Fartcoin. That was my concern with Fartcoin, is new narratives coming that are equally funny and just don't have the perceived capped upside of something like Fartcoin. Like if you're looking at Fartcoin, like there's two mindsets. One, you've round tripped it and you're not letting your bag sit to 2.5 billion again. You're getting out beforehand, which I think is the majority of people. And then you have people like, I think a much smaller part of the community is like, okay, I'm just going to moon bag this to like 5-10 bill. But I feel like there's already perceived capped upside for a token that's gotten that high. You don't see many meme coins re-break out after the 1 billion mark. That being said, I bought it. I saw strength. I'll probably be somebody who's selling it for a 2x at 1.5 bill if we get there.
So I actually don't hate that the Buttcoin play, Ray. Someone tweeted out that there's this Buttcoin Reddit subreddit of like hundreds of thousands of people of Bitcoin haters. They straight hate Bitcoin, and the name of the subreddit's named Buttcoin. So this could become the anti-Bitcoin coin. I don't hate Buttcoin. I don't hate Buttcoin. I was merely talking smack about your Fartcoin methodology buying, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's the MC at right now.
Buttcoin is currently at 16.2 million.
That might be a buy. What's it up? Okay, all right. This is a big. I'm buying the top of this.
No, you're not, dude. It just got the 364% candle. Obviously, it rallies more.
It's at 76.
76% on the 24-hour. That's what we're looking for here, Clemente.
What'd you get in at?
I'm in around 9.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Easy. I also think I would sell all of your Bitcoin right now.
Are you dumb?
He doesn't have a ton of it, right? Isn't he selling it as he's getting it?
I still have 1,500.
I would sell that. I would nuke that.
Clemente, I'm 100% in the profit, and as of today, up $1,500.
I know.
already
I would,
sold it.
exactly. I would realize those gains and nuke
I already
it.
have.
Take more money off the table.
No.
Who
No.
else is buying this?
Clemente, let me explain this to you. All right. You stupid piece of shit. All right. Go look at the people interacting with the Bitcoin account. It's every goddamn person on the abstract team responding with the potato. Every single one from Saigar to the abstract page. All right. This is going to be bigger than Bitcoin.
I just get a weird feeling like the entire abstract team shilling a clear Ponzi. And like, what happens when this thing inevitably pulls
It's
back?
going to go to zero. Do I
Yeah,
think it goes
they're
to
just
zero
all
right away?
shit.
No. I think I got at least 2 more days of juice on this.
I mean, dude, all right, let's go. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Everyone is up on this. So when you see a 50%, like when you see a pullback, people be like, oh shit, time to get out. And it's
Yeah,
going
but
to
there's sinks, dude. We already saw that pullback. If you watch this trade the first day, it went to $2, $3, $3.30, and then someone pulled 500K of liquidity.
all
And
right.
it dropped to 70 cents.
I want to be clear. I want you to make money on
I've
this.
already made money. That's
I
why I
wanna
don't care
say-
about selling it.
I got a text from I got to respond to him still, but a guy in the abstract ecosystem was texting me about it. I think you know who it is, Easy. And he was like, the Solana Jeets haven't gotten in yet, so that's why the price is pumping. I was like, dude, you got to get out.
So there's 2 people. One, does the person wear glasses?
No.
Okay, he has long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he said the Solana Jeets haven't gotten in yet, I'm like, get out. Get out. He's like, abstract diamond handers are pumping this thing. I'm like, dude, sell it all.
I like how I like how the Solana G's coming lowers price. More people come in to buy the coin, but somehow they just suck. So they lower the coin like against all mathematical properties and everything. Them owning it just makes the coin worth less.
It's so the Solana Jeets narrative is so funny because we see that with everything. Like Taproot Wizards when they were selling, like when they were dumping the Bitcoin, people were like, hey, Solana Jeets, man. Solana Jeets got white.
Yeah, I mean that's just the case though. I mean, they're out, they're almost out, so we're getting ready to run on that. So like that's separate, like that's different.
Yeah. They manipulate the Solana Jeets narrative only to when it fits what they want.
Yeah, if the price goes down, it's like, damn, the Solana Jeets dunked on us, dude. They sold the top on us. If the price goes up, it's because they're not in. But if the price goes down, it's because they are in.
Oh man, these are still down bad. Why oh why? Most expensive wizard costume ever. There's such a thick floor before you get to make price.
I was thinking about this morning. I'd listed mine, Ray, because I have a rare that I was trying to get rid of.
Right.
I delisted it. I'm
Yeah.
not worried. It sucks. Like this sucks for sure, but like all NFTs are going to suck when like with the current conditions. Like it was, I don't think this mint should have happened at this time. People bought it because they thought it was going to be a clean 2x and it wasn't. But yeah, I like ordinals and I like Taproot Wizards. So we'll see. I mean, they're cooked right now. They're down 25%. You're down like $4,000 if you mint it.
You know what I'm up on though? Bitcoin. You guys are talking about a Bitcoin NFT. Just wait till there's Bitcoin NFTs bigger than Bitcoin.
Wow. Runes on a pump.
I think it's on the announcement that Slingshot's going to be listing them, which should actually make trading easier because like they have single side USDC deposits.
Still need people to want to buy runes though.
Nothing. And that's actually what I've said to individuals over there is that Slingshot saying that you can get it. Now they're just liquidity, but I don't think it drives volume. Just because it's easier to buy one doesn't mean I want to buy one.
I'm down so bad on runes. Yeah. In terms of other NFTs, I don't know if we've seen too much action. Like I write the newsletter and I include like NFT movers, and there just hasn't been anything like worth mentioning in terms of movers over the last week, which has been like like everything's basically been pretty flat across all ecosystems. Brief pump on Ape Chain with some different things. I wonder if they were deploying some capital. Abstract NFTs have been holding steady. ETH NFTs have basically been steady. Every time I go to Solana NFTs, they're like down or like just like steady. So it's like tough to like imagine like an NFT season like being anywhere near close. Like we're not seeing any signs of life coming out of NFTs.
I mean, why would we though? People feel broke, and like until people start feeling rich or feeling like they want to take some risk again, these aren't gonna move unless there's like an impeding announcement, like Doodles and their dude token. I think with Doodles they fumbled that timing really bad. Hopefully, I think there will be another run, and they're trying to time that. But I mean, there's no NFT that's interesting to me right now, other than like some things on ordinals that I believe in that are pure play collectibles. But like, why would I hold anything on ETH right now? Most NFTs on ETH, you're just stuck. Like, easy. How much are you down on? Remind me again how much you're down on this CryptoPunk.
Let me check. We can actually pull up the exact amount so we can see. I don't want to spread any misinformation, so let's see the exact amount. Brought to you by Etherscan. So got my CryptoPunk in here. I spent $133,000 on it. It's now worth $65,000. So I'm down 50%. But I am up on ETH. The floor is now 4.25. I spent 4.61. So I'm up 0.6 ETH.
Got it. Ethiopia. One thing that was interesting yesterday, talking about CryptoPunks, NFTs, fine arts, there was an Art Blocks curated 24-hour auction. Ranked auction, 50 artworks. I want to have you guys guess what this went for in terms of final
0.05 ETH.
Minimum bid. What was the minimum bid out of the 50 bids that came in?
No, point one. I mean, dude, I have no idea. 0.12 ETH.
Over 1 ETH.
What?
Yeah. So Art Blocks showing a little sign of life yesterday with this one. I've never heard of this guy. I looked him up briefly. He didn't seem like someone was big who was big.
The art's cool.
Yeah. First curated collection in a while, so I guess people have been waiting on these.
Should I sell my punk and buy a new one?
Just to feel something or to realize the loss?
To realize the loss. Is that how it works?
Yeah. What do you mean? Is that how it works?
Because
I don't think I think the tax reporting thing is like kind assets, and I don't think that applies to crypto or doesn't apply.
Well, my question is because I converted stables to ETH at the time. So it was 132 grand on base USDC converted to ETH on ETH mainnet that I then went and bought the punk.
I like that. I think that makes sense.
So if I sell the punk, convert it back to USDC, convert it back to ETH, do I get to recognize that gain, that loss?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Let me see if I can find one for you. Easy. He's literally gonna go get his, I'm assuming his ledger.
I see him like walking out of his room going to get something. So are we picking out like a fun new CryptoPunk from?
I was looking at one. I'm looking around.
I have one I've been eyeing. I'm not telling anybody about that. But when ETH was collapsing, I was seriously considering a punk. But yeah,
you like mid rares, right?
I think I found it.
We're not talking about it.
No, Nick. No, it's to the right. It's the one with the headband.
This guy?
That one.
For who?
No, it's not. I don't think so. I don't think that's him.
Okay, I'm gonna go now.
If we were to tell Easy, is he buying a floor punk essentially?
He's gonna buy a floor one.
He's gonna list it though, so he's got to sell it first to get the ETH. Is the issue? He's not just gonna dump into a bid, and he'll probably list his like 44, somewhere in this range.
I mean, he needs someone to buy it immediately. So the question is, how is he gonna like?
He's not.
I don't know what the volume of sales is on this. Like, look at how long. No, look at sales. The bids is not to look at. You're scrolling back up. Sales was underneath. No. Oh my god.
Sales.
Correct.
It's a couple sales a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 in the last day or so. About. And I mean, they're in a pretty decent sized range of like, there's 142 ETH sale yesterday, a hoodie. Couple this guy with the mohawk and the cigarettes, not bad.
Thrilling content.
So did you guys already talk about the bounce back yesterday?
We mentioned it in the weather report. I don't know if you want to add anything, Nick, or like look at TA on this. Like Easy showed that we basically didn't break out of the downtrend on Bitcoin. So that's a little concerning. Equities rallied harder than crypto, but equities also sold off worse than crypto. So I'm sort of interested to see like what your take is on the market right now.
I like Easy's take. I agree. I just think the bigger thing is what you think structurally the market looks like. The conversation is how do people think these tariffs are going to play out is still the active thing, and I don't trust any of this. Yeah, there's well, here, I'll pull this up.
So basically the market rallied based off of the fact that Trump paused the tariffs for 90 days against all countries, and the retaliatory tariffs are only 10%. And then the only tariffs that stand are against China. Isn't that still pretty gnarly? Like,
yeah, I think 100% tariffs on China is a pretty big deal.
Like, this is insane.
And 10% is still a legitimate thing. But yeah, where do you think like all of Amazon's like products come from? China. Where does like Walmart, Amazon, a lot of clothing companies, well, I don't know how much clothing is made in China, probably a substantial amount, but I think there's a lot of other countries like Indonesia and elsewhere, which matters. There's also like the reality that like Apple makes a lot of their iPhones in India, for example. And so theoretically they could transition from China. And these tariffs are like, if Trump just singled out China, then it could have pretty negative impacts for China holistically. That said, it feels sort of like borderline like an act of war in some ways. And so the question is like, what are they going to do? Are they suddenly going to fly over and be like, yeah, let's do a deal? This guy Z, what is it? What's his name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
President Xi.
Oh, President Xi. Yeah.
What's his last name?
I'm not gonna try to say it.
Jinping.
Yeah, I think so. Jinping.
Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping.
Okay.
Whatever the situation is, I just don't think that this is like over. And right now, these technicals, we're seeing lower highs on Bitcoin. We're seeing, let's even take a look at Solana, which is, holy shit, down 6%. Solana's not looking good. Ethereum looking awful. You're going to love Ethereum at 1100. Easy, I think, can wait to buy his punk, the new one, because you may be able to get a better one. I just don't think we're in great market structure at this point in time. I don't think this plays out in a short period. I just liked AVAX strength yesterday and was pissed that I don't own any because I'd sold out. But all this stuff could definitely dump further. AVAX looks bad. Maybe I sell buyback in again later. But yeah, it's not looking great across the board. And what's like outside of yesterday, what's the major catalyst? I have no idea. NASDAQ right now down 3%.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree about catalyst, but like I think that there's just tailwinds, like M2 money supply. Here's Raoul Paul comparing M2 versus Bitcoin. which they've been pretty much
What's
correlated.
what's that projection out into like? Oh wait, no, that's current money supply.
This is the M2 12-week lead is the black one. And this is the current price of Bitcoin is the red one. So there's a 12-week lead time on this metric.
He tweeted this when the market like surged yesterday. What I like when it's going to be like, maybe it wasn't. Like this easy.
He also has said, I keep seeing this clip of Raoul Paul saying you should never own Bitcoin because he was like, in a bull market, altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. In a bear market, you want to own stable coins. So why would you want to own Bitcoin? Which was funny. So Ray,
pretty much everyone here agrees with that take, right?
Completely agree. Right up my wheelhouse.
I mean, ETH has, you look at the last year, you look at ETH versus anything else versus Bitcoin, and that'll be your answer. With Nick, you were Nick or Ray, I can't remember. You were mentioning the S&P 500 versus Bitcoin, how the S&P bounced back harder. That's strictly because of the bigger sell-off we saw in the S&P 500 initially.
I think crypto has been front running a lot of the activity in the markets. Honestly, we've been mostly risk off. I wonder what's gold action looking like? How do I pull that up? What do you use for gold? GLD?
I just type in gold.
According to ChooseRich.live, it surged to new highs. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Thanks for revealing some of the stories that it's sharing. It looks like it hit the all-time high. Yeah, the way that headline was written, I was confused. But that's what you get with AI. Look, I'm not a gold trader. This also isn't the price of gold. Like, how do I get the per ounce price? Does anybody here know?
Type in gold into the search bar. GOLD.
Here you go. There you go, Ray. Coming with the alpha. Look at that.
That's a tough one.
Look at that. That is a strong move on gold. I don't know.
After a strong downwick, though.
Yeah, volatility. It has strong downwicks all the time. Is that what? So, Ray, so what you're telling me is the best move is to sell here and then maybe like buy up here?
No, that's not high enough. It probably has to break like 36, 37 for you to really start to get interested. It's only like 90% candles. Nah, that's too wide. It has to act higher. Yeah, it has to break that.
Okay.
I'm never gonna live this down. I've seen Fartcoin to outperform here, and it's continuing to go down.
It's going down right now.
It's about to lose 700.
Devastating.
The trader in me was like, I want to sell like 50% of my Fartcoin bag here because I don't think this is like a crazy. I don't think it's going to sustain in the short term.
Diamond hand it, Clemente.
That's my problem.
What does that mean? Weren't you guys just shilling Fartcoin going to billions of dollars yesterday?
In the long term, Ray. In the long term. In 6 months.
I'm diamond handing it.
When has that ever worked out for a meme coin? When have you ever said this meme coin is going to be the 6-month play? What's 6 months ago? Is this Mirage 6 months ago? SPX. That's the 6-month play. Giga. Hold this thing for 6 months. Hold this thing for 6 months. Pepe. Hold this thing for 6 months. How many of these have worked out?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't top tick.
Hold this for 6 months.
And the problem is, Ray, I was reflecting on this morning. I think the plays I do the best on are actually the ones where I have a medium level of conviction. my highest level conviction plays have led to my biggest round trips because I'm so bullish on it and getting it at a certain price that I always end up overshooting my estimates and I don't take profits. So the most realistic scenario is I actually end up round tripping all of my Fartcoin gains in the future. Like I am prepared for that scenario happening because it's one of my highest conviction plays. So I'm like 10 billion is my price target.
Sell it 1 billion. I think people are going to look at 2.2, 2.5 and target 1.5. You want to get out before them. 1 bill.
5.
You're not getting to 5. You're not getting to 2 again. Not happening. Bachelor Society, where are you selling Fartcoin to avoid round tripping? I'm curious.
Dude, Bachelor Society said he wants it to be worth $1 million, his bag.
He's not going to do it. He's not round tripping it twice. People aren't going to round trip this bag twice. If they get a second chance to cash in on this, if they've been holding, they are selling. They're selling. I would love for Bachelor Society to prove me wrong, but I bet he's going to come back and say, like,
for context, and people that don't know, Bachelor Society got in. Oh wow, he round tripped his Fartcoin bag. He's taking profits all the way up. Okay, cool.
Yeah. See, this is the mindset that caps upside on these coins when people are targeting like that. Okay, this thing ran into 2 bill. It's going to do it again.
We'll see. Hey, we'll see.
Look at this. These people's usernames don't like you. You can't post a comment with any sort of reasonable thing if you don't have your full name on there. This guy's name is English.
You want their full first and last legal name? Is that what you want?
First and last name. If you can add a social security to the back end of it, that'd be great.
Yeah, Connor Glenn is good.
Connor Glenn.
Great name.
What about Takeoff Tone?
Not bad. Takeoff space tone.
There we go. Here's a good one.
Miguel Battle.
All right. Well.
Ooh, here's an interesting one. How do you feel about Uncle ETH?
No, he's Uncle ETH, and he has a gutter cat gang dog. Like Uncle ETH, come on.
Right. That's dedicated. That's the Clemente max conviction play. Is still owning a gutter cat in 2025 and having it as your PFP.
No, that's the problem. Is like I actually need lower conviction plays that I get out of and then I take profits. Like Fantasy Top is another high conviction play for me that I'm going to end up round tripping.
You just keep dumping money into this, like aggressively, like haphazardly. You're like, I'm going to put some more money over there. I'm gonna buy some more.
That's my ETH. That's my ETH exposure. If I have ETH, I'm going to use it. I don't want. ETH sucks. ETH is the worst asset I've ever owned in my entire life. Since I bought it, when I first got into NFTs, my average price is like $3,800. It's been the worst asset since I've gotten into crypto. I top ticked it because of NFTs. I bought NFTs with it. I paid hundreds of dollars in gas, and it's never going to reach all-time highs again. Book it. Ethereum will never hit all-time highs again. No shot. It's going to keep slowly bleeding to zero against Bitcoin.
9.9 ETH portfolio. 9.9 ETH worth of collectible trading cards of your favorite Twitter personalities here for Clemente. Just keeps adding, smashing the buy button. Oh, man. Bought all these gals. Damn, these are 0.1 ETH as well. You spent half an ETH on this Gout Legendary?
Cool. We're just doxing all my purchases. We're just pocket watching. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pocket Watching Show where we go through everyone's. Right. Let's go over your grocery bill this week. How about that?
I'll pull it up. Shout out to Carpenter and HK. I jumped on their podcast over the weekend. If you're playing fantasy, I highly suggest you check out their weekly podcast. They turned around my portfolio. I was getting like 600 fragments, maybe not much money. Sometimes never, like no money each week. This week, after going on and getting a little strategy and deck rebuilding, $230 on the week, which is not bad. 1,100 shards for a portfolio worth just about 6 ETH.
There you go, 6 ETH. That's peanuts, dog. I'm winning $500 this week. That's what I'm talking about. And so I'm gonna read a couple more comments. Here. Someone said, I think it was Miguel Rivero. Miguel Rivero says ETH to 6K. He said ETH/Bitcoin almost bottomed for sure. We've been saying that for the last 6 months. For the last year, we've been saying ETH Bitcoin has bottomed. What other than people saying that? No, I can't get it. Like, dude, it's unbelievable. And I have ETH, by the way. I have $20,000 in ETH that I hate that I own. I don't think price is going to go up. I think L2s might be successful on it, but that doesn't mean price goes up.
I mean, this chart has to have bottomed, right?
Institutions refuse to bid this ETH ETF. Last time I checked the numbers. Why would this chart?
5 out of 6 days of outflows in the last 6 days. This is the monthly on ETH BTC.
Send it lower.
We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 green months since August of 23. That's quite a bit of time.
No one wants to buy ETH. What's the narrative for it? What's the narrative for it? Show me the developers on ETH. Show me developers on ETH in the last 24 months. If there's more people going there, and compare it to Solana. People that built on ETH are fat and happy because they nailed the tech. They nailed the ICO, all of that. The timing of it was fantastic. I think ETH is awesome. L2s aren't doing anything for the price of ETH.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just DeFi TVL on ETH. I mean, it has huge lead over any other chain. TVL.
This is the only bull case, Miguel Ribeiro. And this is the only bull case I've seen from any ETH bulls is that BlackRock is invested in it, and that's it. It's BlackRock. Awesome. You're just banking on BlackRock, pumping your bags.
Isn't that what we did with Bitcoin and the ETFs?
BlackRock pumping it? Well, there's an actual narrative there. There's an actual narrative to be following along. Is digital gold. What's the narrative for BlackRock? Is that they tokenize everything on Ethereum and they buy more? That's what I'm trying to understand. And I'm happy to be proven wrong. I'm not like firm. I'm passionate about it because I've held ETH and I'm down so much on it. I've watched it go down. And every time I've sold my ETH for something else, I've never regretted it. And I have 10 ETH that I'm sitting on now that I hate that I'm holding. I'm holding because I like Fantasy Top, but that's down.
By holding 10 ETH, you mean you're holding 10 ETH worth of Fantasy Top cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so basically Fantasy was what's happening is you're pretty much breaking even. You're making $300 a week, but essentially it's getting eaten up by the price of ETH going down.
Yeah. I'm probably down on like USD terms in Fantasy Top, and I'm a hero too. So people are saying like, why would you not, like, basically saying BlackRock's going to pump Ethereum? What are they going to do to pump it? Like, buy more assets with it? Like, shove it down their institutional clients' throats? I don't understand
What do you mean by that?
I mean, dude, I want people to like explain it to me. Okay, cool. So that's the bull case is build whatever. They're going to tokenize whatever it is they're going to tokenize on Ethereum versus anything else.
I mean, the narrative's still like the world's best distributed smart computer.
I have no like developer experience, so I take Nick's word for it where he says it's easier to build on Ethereum than Solana.
It is.
Okay. So in a world where well, we're almost up on time, but in a world where there's a bunch of L2s, where BlackRock launches their own L2 on Ethereum, right? And it's a very successful L2, whatever that means in terms of activity, in terms of financial activity, whatever they're going to tokenize their business model. Is the bull case that so many people are using it, the L2, that they buy Ethereum to interact with it? Like, I'm struggling to understand what this means in terms of the price of Ethereum going up is what I'm thinking about.
Interesting.
Like I've wanted, the reason why, like I've wanted to try to come up, like think about the run that we saw from NFTs on the L1 feels like to me is what led to Ethereum pumping so hard in 2021. And Solana is leading in every metric. Like I look at the meme coins on Solana, the tokenization of everything is going to be on Solana on the speculative side. Every meme, everything that Trump tweets, everything that Elon tweets becomes a meme coin. And all of that is happening on Solana. We have BNB trying to like mimic that and like incentivize that by like pumping these coins, but like it's all happening. That's happening on Solana. I think I don't know what the Ethereum base case, like I see the mindset from people on AVAX, from people on Solana, from on SWI, on whatever, name the L2 or name the competitor. They're way hungrier than ETH because they have their target is we want to take ETH's market cap. We want to take up, they want to be the number 2 blockchain behind Bitcoin. Everyone's gunning for that spot. Ethereum's already there. Ethereum, Vitalik's a billionaire, or at least was. The Ethereum Foundation, every early contributor to ETH is rich, multi-millionaires. So they're sitting there. They have zero incentive to be like, yo, let's grind our asses off to try to compete and keep our market share. They're already at the top. Everyone's trying to come after them. And these guys are already fat and happy. So it's BlackRock that's trying to save this.
I think you're just making it an argument that just doesn't exist, in that like the fat and happy argument where people just aren't incentivized to build on Ethereum because they're fat and happy. So like, I just don't think that thing that holds any water. I think it's the most secure internet computer. I think it's the one that could act as the distributed ledger for all smart contracts, like globally, become more realized, more used. Like people are just adopting Bitcoin on a global scale. Imagine when they start tokenizing on Ethereum, and even if they're doing it on EVM, L2s, etc. Like there's going to be some way to drive value back to the Ethereum token. Like I just have to believe that's going to happen. I mean, I could be wrong. We could continue to see a bleed out and just death, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I have a qualitative approach to these things. I should be more data driven. The security part of it, I have nothing to add to that on the secure side of things, on how programmable it is. Mega ETH, for example, is faster. Is it as secure as ETH? Like, what's the difference between Mega ETH and ETH? And if Mega ETH succeeds, what does that mean for ETH as a whole? Those are things I don't know. And maybe ETH will come back. I think ETH will pump. I was surprised yesterday, Ray, to see
settled on ETH. So it's using ETH as its settlement layer.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. I saw yesterday, I was surprised to see ETH was outpacing most tokens on the rebound. It was up like over 10% I think it was outgaining Solana. It was outgaining Solana at some point. So anyways, people will, I think our listeners are ETH holders.
Kashmir is saying you're not on chain. You're on CT, and that's the problem.
I'm not on chain, dog.
That's the only comment that matters.
Kashmir is on chain.
Blade had a good one earlier. My pronouns are big/gur.
Mine is girth E. All right, let's wrap.
I bought Fartcoin yesterday. For anyone listening, I bought Fartcoin yesterday. I bought it on that candle. I saw what I wanted to see, and I bought it. I'm down. I'm not happy that I'm down, but I do think we're going to see a bigger run up here. 1.1 billion, probably 1.1 billion. That's my target right there. 50% gainer.
I like it. So, okay. Yeah, I'm sticking with the no new all-time high for ETH, by the way. Miguel is saying ETH has been bleeding against Bitcoin, but against others as well. So when it bottoms, it will pump, if nothing else, to mean revert. Kix is an ETH bull. I would have loved to have him on for this and to get me back on the ETH train. We've been saying this, Miguel. Literally, I remember we were having this conversation 2023, end of December, where we're like, dude, ETH has been underperforming. It's going to keep going. So there will be periods where it outperforms, I think, but my stance is that it won't over the longer term. Outperform most. Like, I'd rather just hold
underperforming Clemente.
I know, dude. I've been like
only 1,000 for a rare for you.
I know. I'm disappointed in my performance this week for any of my fantasy top holders. disappointing out.
They're on the uptrend, but this is just unacceptable.
Not good.
After a couple top 10 finishes, 37.
No, it's not good. It's not good. I had a song that we didn't finish, Theo and I. Next week should be better. I have a video I'm going to post, I think today, that I think was pretty good, but it won't be in time for the tournament. So I'm washed.
This is what we got. We got the Brita filter. This is what
Dude, that thing is a scam. I was like, I need to like, people were actually like, dude, you got absolutely ripped off. Like, it's less healthy to have a Brita filter. I have it back there than but it makes me feel good when I fill it up.
When you fill it up, it feels. I mean, I use Brita. I don't like tap water. So if I'm like out, like if we're doing like Airbnb or something, like we bring a Brita with us. So just what I do. I haven't died yet. I don't know how many microplastics are in my balls, but we'll see, I suppose, at some point. Speaking of microplastics and balls, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you all for joining us. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple. Watch us back on YouTube. You can see what we're talking about in real time. Thank you all for listening. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a retweet. Hopefully you're having a good week. Have a nice Thursday. We'll catch you back tomorrow.